Goodness gracious.
All right, so I'm following all this noise in chat.
There's a lot of noise in there.
Were you going to say something, V?
Was I? Well, I know everyone's talking about offices and bathrooms and working from home, and I think we should reward chat this week.
You think you should do what now? Reward chat
Reward
this week?
Chat.
Hang on now. Hang on. It's a bad precedent to set to reward chat for anything.
You don't reward chat. You talk shit to chat. That's what you're supposed to do. They talk shit to you. You don't reward them.
I mean, there are multiple schools of thought if you're looking at
I'm waiting.
By all means, Bray, continue.
I mean, some people have a praise kink, some people have a humiliation kink. It depends upon what chat wants. See, head pats. That's a good thing. That's easy.
Praise kink? Praise kink?
Of course.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Basically I keep forgetting there's Rule 37.
No, it's not Rule 30. It's not even Rule 37. Some days I really wish there wasn't as much testosterone in chat, and there were a handful of folks who understood Romance Landia and the side quests of the whole, like the finding the good girl or the good boy, corollaries and like the little snippets of audio, because there is a thing. It's like, yes, you want to be told that you're good. You want to be told that, yes, you're doing the right thing.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to let that one go. Yeah, Rule 34. Thank you, Tim. I had a senior moment. I'm having another one as I try and multitask. You don't exalt chat. No. Head pats.
Look what you've done.
I'm a very good girl.
Oh, wow, Rowdy.
See? You really want to go that far? I'm sorry, I get paid to do that sort of thing.
When you say that and then you pat the head, that has a totally different context.
Let's see what we got here.
No, it's not a different context.
He's a good girl. Terry's a good boy. Paul is okay.
See if I can make that worse.
Or as the kids these days say, Paul's mid.
I have sodden the reputation of the number 37. Well, I never liked that number anyway. How dare I? I dare. I double dog dare, as a matter of fact.
37.
Meanwhile, more cats come to Terry. Since basically he's got on, a few minutes ago. Well, it's been more than a few minutes. We have seen how many cats? And how many made repeat appearances? Yeah, one too many.
2, 4, we don't know.
We have no clue. We're a little afraid. So if you're playing the drinking game today, be warned. Just telling you right now.
If you're playing the drinking game today, you might start your first 10 with water. Because hydration's important.
Hydration is important. As he loads up a dose of caffeine, which is exactly the opposite. Finally took it takes some time for the stream to load. But look at it this way. You're here for me to say howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Dead Robot Society. I am Paul E. Cooley. Joining me today, Veronica Jaguar and Terry Mixon. How the hell are you fine, folks?
Present.
I could sound more sincere, but that would require energy and interest in actually giving a shit. So,
Man, you don't give a shit?
For you, I'll give a shit. Here's 2 of them.
Hey, you're the one that has to clean it up. You just go ahead and rock on.
No, see, I basically foresaw this eventuality, and that's planned appropriately.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say. V, what have you been up to?
I have been digging myself out of administrative and just general work holes, because not working over, the winter break, as it were, meant that when Monday happened, I had way too many things to do and was grossly overwhelmed. So luckily, I have figured out a way to manage this, which involves a lot of Post-its and not necessarily being at my desk. So that's good. We have found strategies. But it means that I have not done as much work for myself as I've wanted to this week, because at the start of the year, there's always like appointments that you've got to take care of. They only happen once a year, and for whatever reason, they always happen at the beginning of January. So, and plus getting back into school schedules and working with, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. I am embarrassed to say that while I have gone to the gym and taken walks this week for my health, and fuck, it works, yoga kicked my ass, and I am embarrassed to admit it. I took a yoga class on Thursday, and I could not work in the afternoon.
Oh
wow!
I could not focus.
I've been seeing so many ads encouraging older men like myself to take up Tai Chi.
You should.
Tai Chi, yes. Yoga, there was a lot of core work and balance work, and gravity's not my friend.
Gravity's nobody's friend.
It's really not. There's, force times mass times acceleration, when acceleration is the pole of gravity. No, math was not necessarily in my favor. But I did deliver the audio for Empire Reborn. So, yay. Finally,
now we wait for it to approve.
Oh, yeah.
Now we wait for the ACX gremlins to go, maybe not. Maybe not. We don't know.
You are
Shall we reject it, my precious?
You're 1/10 of a second too long on file 5, minute 33. You will go back and fix it now. We will get back to you in 7 to 10 days. Wah! Yeah,
that does actually sound like them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much been my week. So, but Terry, chat is inquiring about your new accessory on your hand, and yes. I don't know if you're starting a fashion trend or.
I am not. It is a cat scratch. Sassy launched herself off of my hand this morning while I was trying to get all the cats off my desk so I could work on something. So it was a nice bloody cut that needed to be bandaged. It is the nature of being a cat father.
Let's see, that was me last week, and now it's you this week.
Yeah, but at least mine's not on my face.
This is true. This is very true.
Now, let's see. For me, you know how that saying is, fail early, fail often?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've been doing that with my New Year's Eve plan of writing every day. I've already failed early and failed often. So there. Probably not what they intended.
I failed in everything today except to get out of bed. I even put on my shirt backwards.
It's 10 days into the year and 3 days I didn't write. So much for that.
You're still more than 50%. That's pretty good.
Know, it's still fine, but I got that. Oh, can't fail now. I can't. Yeah, we're done. It takes a long time to get into a habit for me of doing things. So it's going to be rough, but I'm still writing, but it is the way it is. We took Harley and Domino downstairs so that they could begin integrating, and the 3 kittens do not appreciate the new visitors. They're about 3/4 grown, so they're menacing poor Harley and chasing him around and all just like edging in on his space to let him know that they don't like him, and growling at him and occasionally swatting him. So this morning we went ahead and let the boys out and put them into the crates where the boys were. They are not pleased at this change of events.
How the turntables.
I'm very shocked.
Now they have to they lay in the bed where it smells like the boys, and they're going to be forced to get used to that smell.
Poor babies.
Yeah.
It'll be stinkerific.
Well, this is cats, you know. The new boys downstairs have definitely caused some uproar just by being let loose. Cleo, the little bitty gray that we have that lurks in our bedroom, decided to tell Donna that she was not so pleased by going to a pillow on the foot of the bed on her side and peeing on it right in front of her, right while she's watching.
Oh no.
That's a pretty big fuck you. That's
I am pleased, and this is how you will know it.
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow.
Welcome to cats. That's what they do when they're displeased. They said, I will make my cat parent know I am unhappy by doing this thing that I know they do not like.
Yep.
If we hear, say, repeated lines on one of your audios on YouTube, she would just DM you on Discord. That works. That works. But I don't repeat things. That's just not possible. So there's no way I missed an edit. It's just your ears. You
It
fucked
just never
up.
happens.
That's right. Never happens. Your player went back 5 seconds. That's the issue. So it's you, definitely you, never me. Please DM me. Anyway.
Oh.
Hey, guess what? The window guy is coming out early next week to replace the windows that are under warranty. So maybe the renovation will be done.
Yay! So our topic next week when we do our homework will be renovations by Terry.
Oh no, I'm not talking about renovations again. Not for a long time.
Never.
Actually, you know, that's totally not true because I'm probably going to take the money that I get out of the copyright settlement and have a standby generator, whole home generator installed.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Living in hurricane areas, you know, it's nice to have something that's more solid power-wise when things go out.
Yes.
Especially where you live.
Well, Florida and Texas for sure. Anywhere on the Gulf Coast or Florida, pretty much, yeah.
It's on the list. For us, we have a generator that works really well, and we don't have a lot of stuff that has to absolutely run. So it would be nice, but
my wife has had a heat stroke in the past, so heat is bad for her. I've got a lot of cats that I don't want to have any issues, so it's somewhere higher up than a nice to have.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely on my list.
Oh yeah, and if my kids were younger and still at home, it would definitely be prioritized.
That way, when the power gets knocked out for a week, we'll be standing outside going, "Gosh, everybody, looks like shit out here." And they'll be glaring at us.
Xander says no topic. That means this is before dark. Tim says, how about this for a topic? So you want to start a podcast as a promotion. Are you insane enough? Are you bad enough?
We could talk about that. What exactly would your podcast be promoting?
And do you really need another project?
Yeah, Generac.
Yeah, Generac
Generac
is on my list. It's not ends in an X, it ends in a C, but yeah.
As opposed to generics, which is completely different.
Totally
whatsoever.
different.
Yes. Completely. I didn't say what I've been up to. I just realized that.
Well, you should say that while he's figuring out what his podcast is going to be promoting.
What did I do? I have been running the balancing act a little bit of family stuff. And I'm on a new medicine and waiting for certain things to happen there. But I finally put a stick in the sand and said, okay, we're doing this. So I started recording Extinction yesterday. So going through the draft at the same time as recording it, finding a few things I wish I hadn't, but I found them. Getting that out there, and also announced that it's a Patreon exclusive for at least a year. So you have to be around for me to actually narrate it. You're going to have to be a subscriber at some level on Patreon or buymeacoffee.com. And strangely enough, that immediately brought in a couple of patrons. So we'll see if it kind of spreads as people download the files and go to town on them.
All right.
So doing that. And the proof for Oceania should arrive, I think today. It's either today or Monday. I don't remember which. So then I'll know for sure my colors are too dark, because I saw the CMYK conversion. CYMK? CYMK conversion. So I just went ahead and did it just to see what the colors look like, but I think it's going to be bad on the text. But I've already chosen the new color that I think will work better. Just haven't tested it yet. And let's see what else is going on. Our fridge is trying to die again, because that's the way the cookie crumbles or something.
Wait a minute, didn't it just die?
It was back in August, or June rather, yeah.
Well, at least it's under warranty.
No, it's not.
Everything has a 1-year warranty these days, Bal.
Well, we need to find out if it's the parts that broke.
What type of fridge do you have? I'm just curious.
A Samsung.
There are two. Same. And ours was being cranky for a long time. Depending upon the type, certain parts have a 10-year warranty and other parts have a 5-year warranty. And with ours, the part that was causing problems was the one under the 10-year warranty, and so parts and labor were covered in the replacement.
Nice. We'll see how it works.
But it was a bit of a runaround to finally get somebody with the parts to come in and replace things. So
okay, I will check into that on Monday when he comes. Let's see. Topic, Xander, weird ways to promote your things. One thing I have done to promote my podcast and anything has been reaching out to streamer friends and having them do whatever to promote the thing. Thing being a rather amorphous term, rather vague. Weird ways to promote your book or your podcast.
or your service in general.
Your service in general?
Well, because I was trying to figure out a thing to promote my narration, and especially the romance narration.
OnlyFans. I keep telling you, OnlyFans.
I'm not allowed to have another project. That involves time that I should be using to, like, record books. But what I did is I started a series on my pseudonym socials. And the tagline is, do you want to become a more cunning linguist? And it is 52 words related to romance. And it's just the word, the phonetics underneath, and then the definition. And I've to finish them up and put out the rest for January, but I have one up there already. And it's small, it's little. It's going to take a while to catch on, but at least it's something different. And
Cool.
I'm having fun doing it.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Weird ways.
So, I mean, there's the sandwich board method.
Literally and figurative.
Yes. Go. Paul disappeared.
Poof. Gone.
He returned.
You saw nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I hit the wrong button. That's what happened. Zender says, I think having streamers are underutilized to promote things like podcasts or books. Imagine someone playing a game that is either similar to your book or the exact opposite and it gets promoted. I have been comparing certain works like An Ancient Trap and Station 3 to Dead Space and some other properties, gaming properties. And it's strange how that always brings some younger folk in. Or even people my age, because Dead Space, oh yeah, I love that game. I think if you write something in that vein, being able to tie it to properties that already exist allows you to do some weird marketing stuff too. So for instance, on your pages, like for me, there's absolutely no reason why I wouldn't have The Thing, The Blob, movies like The Stuff, if I wanted to put them together. Here's all these vague termed movies that all kind of coded together as to what was the impetus or what inspired, The Black and stuff like that. Those are things I could do. It'd be kind of odd to do, kind of unique, and put it forward like that. Have watch parties doing that. Why am I not doing these things? Anyway,
because they take time.
They do
that
take time.
You often need to spend writing.
If only I was doing that right now.
Yeah.
Instead of doing all this business admin bullshit.
Right.
Oh, I'm recording. No, the fridge isn't broken, but the coils are icing up. So it's just a matter of time before it goes bye-bye.
That's exactly what happened to mine.
And to think my grandma's fridge from the 70s still runs great. Had an LG and the ice maker went out once a year. Luckily, things haven't been that bad.
But I mean, there is something to be said for like different ways to promote your stuff in different angles, but it takes time, and it's also, is the potential audience worth it? So like if you're going to collaborate with someone or ask them to help promote, is that person's reach the same size or bigger than yours? And are they going to attract the kind of people that you want? If that makes sense.
Yes, it does actually. Me collaborating with a romance author or to write a romance probably wouldn't go over too well with the majority of my readership.
Right.
It just wouldn't match. It wouldn't mesh. And vice versa. People would be like, who's this coolie guy? Oh my God, he kills all his characters. Oh my God, look at all the ick. I can completely imagine that actually being a reaction. But there are certain things you can and cannot do, or can or do not want to do. And that would kind of be one of them. Just basically switching out genres like that could be a bit of a rift. But you do what you want, and you work with what you want, and you write what you want, and things are what they are.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I know has gotten popular, and because it brings together people from slightly different writer spheres and interest areas, is if you have people just playing a tabletop campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got folks, they may talk about, I'm working on this book, I'm doing this book, but then they just launch into the game. And so anyone who enjoys watching, live streams of, RPGs, great, fantastic. But it's also, well, I like this author, and this could be interesting. I'm gonna watch them work on this campaign. Oh, there are these 4 other people, and what are they talking about? So something like that has the opportunity to bring in more viewers and eyes, just because you're interested in that person. I know that for a while that was being done with narrators. There was it's called, the campaign was called Punch and Roll, which, if you don't know, Punch and Roll is like, it's a recording style, but also punch and rolling for initiative. So, and it was a bunch of narrators who were trying to do something very similar to what Critical Role was doing with voice actors. And they had their characters, and they would have episodes with the campaigns, and they would be playing these characters. And it was thought to help, promote audiobook narrators and kind of cross promote what folks were doing, because if you like this one person, where you're going to discover a handful of other people. So.
Let's see, thing being a podcast, I've had them promote a short story, and I let them have the reins, but that's because I didn't want to give them a script. I prefer people to be creative or not creative with an ad. Interesting.
You have to trust them.
Narrating in the nude on OnlyFans.
Did I mention that gravity is not my friend anymore?
I'm letting all these things go. I'm just going to walk away from this as quickly as possible.
As you get older, you kind of that just happens. Things do.
You can find me on OnlyFans. Look for Wanker. That's me on OnlyFans.
Look, man, we us men, we know about gravity too. When you start dunking the boys in the toilet like a tea bag, you got a gravity issue. Just
Cold
saying.
water, I'll tell you, boys. Deep too.
I am putting my coffee down, so I don't try to take a sip because I don't need this anymore.
Tim says I had a book on guerrilla marketing, but most of the ideas in it feel kind of dated now. Yeah, back when cons were still a thing, and I know they are for some people, but I mean literary cons were still a thing, which to my knowledge they've really gone downhill or disappeared in a lot of ways. You could do things like leave your business cards around. You could leave a first page of a story. You could leave all sorts of things just hanging out. People will just idly go through it, and that you hit or miss, they may see something they like. You could give away at panels you were on. You could give away cards with Audible codes or whatever else, and give people a chance to go see what you do. You could give away a book to a panel, and you're pretty much guaranteed there's one person who's at least seen you and knows your fucking name. Mm-hmm. But all that's kind of changed now because I don't think the bang for the buck is necessarily.
You're definitely
worth
going
it.
to different cons than we did. If you're looking for the gang for the buck.
Gang for the buck. Oh.
And I think a lot of that is genre driven because there's some conventions that have gotten bigger and that are excellent draws for readers and for other authors and networking, but it's become a lot more localized. So there's that, but I understand what you're saying, and figuring out how to promote your work and yourself as a creator and a brand, which I know, but we have to. It's a challenge, and it's figuring out. So I think we as individuals, we are shit at understanding what others find interesting about us because we're so used to ourselves.
Obviously, we need our own Ruby Rod to go ahead and be our promoter. Come in, get us! Hi.
I think it was Matt Wallace. I think it was Matt Wallace who said the author is the least qualified to describe their book.
Yes.
And there is some truth to that until you learn the formula. But even then, someone else who read the book and really liked it might be able to give you a better pitch for your book than you can.
Yep. So another great example of this, the person who could always give you the best introduction. So if you were on a podcast or if you were at a con and this person was moderating, they got to introduce you. If you got introduced by Dave Robeson, you were like, who is this amazing human being that he's talking about? It's me. Shit, that's so good. Thank you.
That smooth talking son of a bitch.
I know, right? With one of the most fantastic mustaches ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Great guy.
But it's like we struggle to put together our own author bios or creator bios because we are terrible at selling ourselves. And that's why you can consult with people and work with coaches to figure out how to do these things. Why? I've paid someone to help me. So it is a challenge, and no one does it right the first time.
No, or even the second or the third. Oh. Sadly, I am EG.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I think the phone keyboard ate him.
I think he may have had a stroke right there while he was typing because that makes no sense.
Xander says, I think Paul would write a good shape-shifting killer romance where the killer is killing all the romance rivals while shape-shifting and gaslighting the romance interest.
Wow. I can see him writing that. I really can.
Stay tuned for the first Tony Downs book. I'll leave it at that. Stay tuned.
I'm sitting here. Don't need more ideas. I really don't. y'all gave me an idea like last week. I think it was last week, and I've like been chewing on it. Like, damn it, I don't need another idea, but it's too good. Oh,
Like a Hallmark movie, The Black returns to a small town for Christmas. It's an eldritch horror. She's a motivating woman running a bakery.
Just about got V with that one. Just about got her.
Oh, those
Right.
tentacles, man. She fell in love at first tickle. Let's see.
and you forgot to also add that she has, you know, a really overbearing ex, and the black finally helps her to take care of that problem.
Bacon.
That's the cozy happy ever after. Anyway.
Matt says, promotion-wise, I'm aiming for game to set up live play testing sessions. Good. But do it like it would have been in an arcade. Find people who have something to promote and talk about it while playing. That's actually an excellent idea.
Yeah.
I like that. Assuming you can play and talk at the same time. Depending on what game it is, you can do that.
Yeah. Well,
Redefine
it also
teabagging.
it takes practice. Like, trust me, the fact that I'm sitting here crocheting while we're doing this, it took me a long time to be able to talk and make thousands upon thousands of knots at the same time and not lose track.
Saying you can leave all kinds of things hanging out after the previous discussion is dubious at best.
It's true. Paul should never leave anything hanging out.
Oh boy, ain't that true. About the audience thing, I don't really have an audience yet, Tim says. I'm kind of starting from zero in 2026.
And in that case, then you can choose to either be at the mercy of the algorithm, or you can choose to learn how to market and how to cross. But
Rowdy says, I think indie publishing killed networking at cons.
hardly. No.
Yeah, I think basically the indie publishing folk took over the cons in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Because, I mean, basically what happened was at first, and some cons are still like this, they don't want us at all. They do not want us on panels. They do not want us anywhere near the con.
Remember when they cut the entire writing track out of the one down in my neighborhood?
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, you have other reader-writer conventions that are genre focused, and they are specifically catering to indie and hybrid authors because they're put together at the local level. There are mystery writer cons, there are horror writer cons, there's a sports romance con that is somewhere up north, but it's all indie authors, and they pull in indie authors from all over the world, and it's marketing to readers that, hey, if you come, you're going to get to interact with a couple of authors that you've read, plus you're going to meet some new ones, plus we're going to have some panels, and it's meant for different audiences. But I think like you said, the bigger ones, like your Comic-Cons and that ilk, unless you are a wildly successful, publicly known indie author,
Yeah, they're not gonna even talk to you unless you have ends. Unless you have some ends, you're not going to be talking to anybody on a panel. It's just not going to happen. Let's see. Tim is opining because he hasn't put out enough stuff. Communities. You have us right now. DRS is a community, Tim. It meant for my books. Have you shared your books on the Discord? That is a very good question. Have you? Have you? Yeah, I don't particularly want to market to other writers anymore. That it didn't get me much. Yeah, you're tapping into the wrong demographic, man. You got to find those pesky readers like Matt. Those are the ones you want. Although the writers are good to have too. Tim shared his books a few times. Let's see, don't particularly want to market to other writers anymore. It didn't get me much, and I already said that. Rowdy says, I do share my books on Discord since I have my own channel there. Aha. Tim says, when I have new things, I share them. Goodreads? Isn't Goodreads pretty much a cesspool, and hasn't it like fallen into a cesspit of despair?
It's been kind of bad for a very long time, and
Yeah. There's an alternate that I know folks have been talking about called Storygraph.
Yeah, I think I checked that out once upon a time.
So
Goodreads is Amazon's bitch.
it was a cesspool before that happened.
That's true. That's true. It just got worse, in my humble opinion. It just got a lot worse. You don't know where where you what? I do want to make something perfectly clear. I was not dissing romance or romance writers. I have respect for what they do. I have respect for what they write. That's just not my wheelhouse.
No,
but it kind of has to be, because of some of the things I want to write have to have aspects of romance in them for them to work.
They have to have aspects, but you weren't dissing anybody.
Don't know where or who even wants to read my work. Dude, isn't that pretty much all of us?
It's a mystery.
Except Terry, he's a kept man. He doesn't have to worry about these things.
I do have to worry about these things. You know, I want people to keep reading my stuff too. Admittedly, somebody else is sharing that particular worry at this moment, but you know, it doesn't go away.
Yeah. As I said, you know, before in the show before the end of the year, I have a lot of things to do this year, and one of them is to get some kind of hold on the marketing stuff. Getting Oceania out there, which is almost ready, almost, God help us all, almost ready to put into the world, is going to be a big part of that, because then I need to market it, especially since it kind of reads like a standalone book from the series. It's an outlier. So I want to put some money into that, but I want to put a lot more money and a lot more time into marketing Extinction, because it's the end of the road. But at the same time, shouldn't I then be focusing on the first book in the series? Yeah, see, there's the rub.
Yeah.
Therein lies the rub. Let's see, Antoine doesn't do kissing and hand-holding. That is too graphic. My characters don't romance, they just F-word.
I see.
Well, you know, there's places for that too.
Yep.
Bedrooms, things like that. Garages, bathrooms, public bathrooms, phone booths.
Cars,
of course. Nowadays, you'd be hard-pressed to find a phone booth, but that's beside the point, at least in this country.
And you might be fighting with a superhero at the same time. Can you imagine how awkward that would be? Some poor superhero has to like change so they can go save the world. They open the door of the phone booth and there are these people in there just in the middle of something hot and heavy. You're like, I need to save the world. Give me 30 seconds. Yeah. Be great.
No, you're done now. One last thrust.
Yikes.
That sounds like something that would be in The Boys. It really does.
It does.
See, Tim says, perhaps my issue is beyond audience, and is that I don't have a strong joy in a genre of story as much as genres of world building.
Oh.
I understand that completely, actually. That's a good way of putting it. That's a really, really interesting question. Strong joy in a genre. Terry's pretty monogamous.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very monogamous. V, I don't know how monogamous you are at this point, because you're kind of dancing around romance and sci-fi and all sorts of other stuff.
When I think of a story, I am character driven. And so it's figuring out what setting and system is going to best fit that character. So I'm going to dabble in like space opera. I'm going to dabble in romance. I'm going to dabble contemporary romance. Fantasy. The only spots that I'm not going to play in, for me, at least at this point, are blood and guts horror, but I've written like psychological thriller stuff because why not? So no, I am very
promiscuous
polygenre.
with your genres. Ooh.
I'm not promiscuous. I have love and attention and respect for many of them.
Tim, I think that you may be complicating the problem more. Are you writing a Western? There's a question. Are you writing a Western? Or are you writing Gothic? What are you writing? If you look at it in its basest terms, what is it that you're writing? Sci-fi space opera reads a lot like Westerns. It just does. Because I think there's a lot of aspects that get written in there, and I always see it in space opera. It always has this Western feel to it, to me anyway. And a lot of the stories seem to have some plots that would fit in that realm very easily. Polyamorous. That's true. You're a genre slut.
He's a genre whore.
See, Matt says, I just had a vision of Cat from Red Dwarf. That's mine. That's mine. This is mine. Don't want none of that. That's mine. I love Red Dwarf. I need to get a bottle of whiskey if I'm going to watch the A to Z again. V, I think, needs to write a horror thriller involving bowling.
So you said that, and my first thought was, so you're saying Final Destination meets The Big Lebowski?
Oh my God. You were going to make so much fucking money.
That's just, your opinion.
Now let me ask you this and get this right. The bowling pin ended up where?
That's just like your opinion, man. Tim says, I like horror and fantasy, but I always start with a world concept. But like the start of Finality looks like it's basically a space opera rom-com. So lean into it. Lean into it. And that would be a good way to market it too. Sprays aerosol spray. Mine. Yes, exactly. Xander says his boss is a certified Buddhist priest.
I am unsurprised.
I'm in the Church of Garaga, so...
Why aren't you the head of the Church of Garaga?
I am. I've performed 2 weddings.
Wasn't there somebody that had your church and was running it, and it wasn't you? I seem to vaguely remember this.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a long time ago, but yeah, the Church of Garaga had its own website, and it looked like a cultist. It just looked like a cultist wet dream. Come over here, we'll show you how to change your life today. Never mind the big beast in the corner that's trying to eat you. That's completely just, don't worry about that. Yeah, that was kind of fun, actually.
I have questions. I have ideas.
Well, when I finally put out the first book of TD, depending on how much Colette is in it, I think she's going to be in half the book, pretty much. I may have to do something like that just for fun.
I mean, that does bring up a really interesting idea that a lot of bigger properties do is cross promotion. They wind up setting up websites or entities that are like the real base of whatever is, in the book or the TV series, like the Stranger Things. I think one of the characters' phone numbers, if you call that phone number, you actually get recordings of, the character saying stuff. Little Easter eggs like that. So, if, for example, with the Black, why doesn't Catfish have a pseudo LinkedIn site with all of the stuff that's listed there? Yeah.
I have something very funny to tell you, but it'll have to be later off air.
Oh dear.
It's about the Derelict Saga. I'm going to leave it right there.
Oh dear.
I want to write a Dirty Pair knockoff. Sexy, flirty, and everything gets destroyed by accident. Dirty Pair, I'm not familiar.
Dirty Pair, yeah. I am, amazingly enough. How did that happen?
Tim says, I guess the issue is just in communication to the reader of what I'm actually doing in the book. This is why I was saying, including a movie or a game or something along those lines that has echoes, or it maybe even inspired certain aspects of what you're doing, or a story that could take place in one of those universes if it was tweaked, because that's exactly what you did. As long as you mention that you're giving somebody an actual touchstone of what it is you were going for, or what the book is trying to go for to get that feel. You know, if I mentioned Dead Space, people are thinking dark hallways, electricity flickering, lots of shadows moving, and horrible noises coming down hallways, and you have to go forward. I want to bring that atmosphere to the books I write, and certain books I write. I want to bring that. I want to try and mimic that. I want to try and bring that in there because I love it. I love it as a reader, as a content consumer. I just love that. Put it in sci-fi, it makes it even better. So I'm going to always describe stuff like Station 3 with that. An Ancient Trap has aspects of it. And I think everything sci-fi that I write has aspects of Dead Space or one of the similar games in that vein. And I'm okay with that. I don't mention it for every book, but it is a touchstone at least. So something to think about. ARGs are another thing. What in the hell is an ARG? Besides a noise I make when Terry tells a joke. ARGs are awesome. I have several ARGs I want to do. I've done one ARG that was like a very stupid idea that was more a gag than anything. What the fuck is an ARG? Alternate reality game. What the hell is an alternate reality game? Inquiring minds want to know. Matt, are you really want us to give you applause for not fapping with the popcorn? Wow. Think what was done with the Dark Knight movie or Halo 2 with the bees. I don't have touchstones
or
for
the
Halo.
Slender Man YouTube series. Okay.
Okay, right. Yeah, the Slender Man has quite a few little properties, and Marble Hornet definitely is very much like that, yeah. It is an alternative to reality. Well, thank you, Rowdy. Thank you very much. Story that may be altered by players' ideas or actions. Okay, so you're basically writing or loosely scripting a D&D module. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
you're writing
it's like
a book
choose your
in
own
the style
adventure.
of a D&D module. Interesting. An alternate reality game is an interactive network narrative that uses the real world as a platform and employs transmedia storytelling to deliver a story that may be altered by a player's ideas or actions. There's a lot of puzzles, cryptic things, etc. Okay. V was referring. Oi, I missed it. What you? Never mind. The trans.edka.
Transmedia.
Not transmedia. What if one of those challenge coins had a series of challenges behind it and a story? Okay. Are you familiar with J.C. Hutchins?
Seventh Son.
Not even Seventh Son we're talking about. I can't remember the name of the book. Maybe V can help me. It was a transmedia project.
Oh, I remember it. I just don't remember anything. I don't remember the details of it.
That was
basically,
huh? Was that Kilroy?
No.
No.
No. Basically, it was a novel that you could read without doing any of the special stuff. But he had gone and created puzzles, phone numbers. You could call for more information. So you could basically act like the character trying to ferret things out, even though the character ferreted out themselves. So it had this whole list of things that that it did, and it was meant to be enjoyed as more of a novel, more than a novel, I should say. And I just read the novel. I didn't do any of the other stuff, but it was an interesting idea that had all these clues, and it was the first transmedia work I guess I'd ever really come across in that fashion. So it's pretty cool. What I'm describing is an arc. Okay. Personal effects. I have that one. Is that what it's called, Tim? Is it called Dark Art? I don't know. Reminds me of J.J. Abrams' S. Not familiar? I say that a lot these days. Seems I'm ignorant of most
Was
media.
that the 33?
Personal effects, Dark Art. Thank you, Tim. There it is.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah, it wasn't a bad story at all. It's about a, what was he, psychological, he worked in an insane asylum or a hospital. I can't remember which. The main
I'll throw it
character
in
was.
the live channel.
Okay, thank you. So it was an interesting book. That's all I remember about it, really.
Is he still producing?
I don't think so. I think he gave up after when they released, when they finally published Seventh Son, they put the first one out and nobody bought it. And so he took his toys and he went home.
Yeah, the last post on his website is from 2020.
Yeah. So I think he's doing multimedia stuff in some fashion. I don't know what. I haven't heard of him in years and years. Yeah, that book was with the publisher, and of course they didn't promote it. He did. But the thing is, most people were waiting for the other two to come out. The 3 books have been out for years. They've been out for what, more 7 years at that point, ironically enough. So he put all his money and time into promoting it, and nobody bought it. And a lot of the folks said they didn't buy it because they were waiting for the other 2 to get published before they bought all 3 of them. They'd heard the story before. Mm-hmm. So
and that's the thing. If you go to his website, the podcast novel trilogy is available. And then there's a short story anthology.
Right,
there's a prequel short story anthology. And then he did publish there are 3 books out. So there's Deceit and Destruction. So Descent, Deceit, Destruction.
Right. That's how I remember them. If you haven't heard that one or read those, you probably should. The first one's kind of hard to get through because there's a lot of info dumps. But once you get past that, it gets really fucking interesting. So it's a pretty good book. A pretty good book. It was a pretty good story. The second book, I think, was the best of the 3, though. Although I don't remember why. Couldn't tell you. All right, what else we got here? What else do you crazy patrons and other people know? You listeners in chat. Listeners, watchers, viewers, whatever you are. Go promote in the Discord and ask for help on my own. That's what I did for covers, and I got some good comments. Nothing wrong with that. I seriously doubt that, Rowdy. I seriously doubt it. I will brainstorm marketing there. Why the hell not, dude? Mm-hmm. Topic, where's my car? Are you missing your car, Xander? Perhaps your car was stolen by Terry's cats. I understand they do that, you know.
It could totally happen.
Cat theft auto. I understand it's a real problem these days. That's a random Hogan's Heroes reference. Okay. I gotcha. I haven't thought about Hogan's Heroes in a long time, except for, strangely enough, 2 days ago, there was the movie Focus, or I think it's called Autofocus, that's about him. before he got assassinated, and it's about all the things he was up to in the porn industry and all this other kind of crazy stuff. The guy who played Hogan in Hogan's Heroes. He was assassinated in Arizona in 1982 or something like that.
Okay.
There's a big brouhaha over who did it. So it's a really interesting film. It's pretty intense, but it's interesting. Willem Dafoe just fucking creepy in that movie. Yeah, Bob Crane, that's his name, Bob Crane. Oh, odd question, Matt says. Has anyone heard about Australia enforcing a ban on social media for under 16s? Yes, I have.
I heard something about that, yes.
Has anyone seen any feedback on it? Nope. I have not. Purple cow marketing probably doesn't work for books. Has there been a show on research?
Not for a long time.
Not for a long time.
Wait, you mean
Although
we
I
have to
know-
research? Hold on now. Wait a second.
I know all three of us have spent our time in the books, so to speak.
Some of us know what a rabbit hole can have. Like, I know I could research for months, and I need to give myself like a stopping point so I can like actually go and move on and do things.
Right.
But yeah, I've so masterclass subscription, and the first thing I found was N.K. Jemisin has a class on world building for sci-fi and fantasy. One, she is nerdy and delightful, and like I could listen to her all day. She's so cool. But she breaks down like research and like how to research things and where to look for stuff. And it's, if you've read her work and like the depth of science that goes into it and the depth of like psychology, because she's a psychologist by trade, it's freaking fascinating. And then kind of to see how things work behind the scenes and how she put some stuff together for her books. But I think research is one of those things. There's either too much or not enough. Very rarely does someone get into the Goldilocks zone.
There is no Goldilocks
research.
zone. There's only what you are writing and how much goddamn detail you actually want to put into it. And how bored to shit your readers are going to be because of how much you pulled and try and cram in there.
You mean I can't spend 4 paragraphs talking about why you're supposed to, why, if you're a good bowler, you shouldn't have to use a urethane ball on every damn sport pattern you have? I can't put that in my romance book about bowling?
You sure could. I'm not sure how well it would do, but you could put it in there.
Oh, baby, tell me about lanes. Oh,
Ooh,
well.
say
lanes came about.
polyurethane again. It makes me hot.
Okay, both of you out of the gutter.
That was good. Xander says, why can't we go back to blank book covers? I'm tired of making book covers. I know the feeling. Matt says, just wondering if removing social media would push kids back toward books or games, because social media has definitely affected how the younger generation interact. It's not at all face-to-face. That is correct.
Younger generation doesn't have the attention span, apparently.
Now, yeah, because I've been sitting in front of iPads since the age of, half.
As someone who has kids who fall into the Gen Z group, and granted, there's the oldest is in his early 20s, the youngest is elder teens. They definitely don't use social media as much as others do, but they wind up connecting more, and they stay in touch with more people I know than I did at their age. And someone going off to college or moving is less of a problem with like losing that friendship or whatever. But that being said, it is far easier to be influenced or to be misinformed So there's a lot of awareness and learning around fact checking and understanding what is trustworthy and what is not trustworthy and how to check things. But children don't have this problem because they are nosy little Fs who triple check sources, which is great. Except we don't have a conversation.
Some readers love that stuff. Yeah, I know. They're the
Triple.
people who like 30 pages of bullshit about Bannerman. Thank you, J.R.R. Martin. That guy.
Wait a minute. Did we get into literary fiction again?
Ew, get it off.
Where are you seeing something about literary fiction?
Because that's all description. 14 pages of
yeah.
describing the bush.
If you're reading Proust, yes, it's more like 90. It's like half a fucking book. And then he goes on for another 2,000 pages. Bastard. All right, we have bored ourselves long enough, and probably you too. But thank you for coming and giving us little micro topics to deal with. Perhaps next week we will talk in depth about research.
And if you have other ideas for topics, that's why we have a topics channel.
Yeah, so you could join our Discord. Link is in the description. And you too could contribute to the madness that we discuss and talk about and all that other kind of bullshit. You too could become one of the cool kids. If you enjoyed today's episode or have a problem with it, tough. But you can go to our website, deadrobotsociety.com, hit the contact button and send us an email. You can leave a comment on YouTube at this particular episode, and you can find it at youtube.com/DRS podcast, where we are live every Saturday at 3 p.m. CST. Like and subscribe so you know when we're live or when we're not live. I leave posts when that happens. And like I said, join our Discord for all the madness. And if you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/DRS podcast and buymeacoffee.com/DRS podcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive live shows like the one that's coming up in about 8 minutes. And if you are a patron at the $10 level, you get your name read. Our $10 patrons are Juan Valentin, James Terrell, Xander, Antoine Batts, Lisa Slack, and Tim Niederreiter. Thank you to all of our patrons for making this show possible. And with that, we are going to get out of here so we can go to After Dark and really say what we think.
Yeah, we've got to talk about polyurethane.
Polyurethane. Isn't that like an acceptable substitution for latex to certain devices?
Tune into After Dark and find out.
Oh, great. Now we're going to have a conversation about Trojans. All right, folks, it was good to see you, good to know you, good to whatever, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.